So continuing our journey backwards through evolution, we started out with gold. Now we're going to final form. When you think you're at final and you figured out you could go further because you actually put some effort into it. It's Frieza. And he got a lizard pet. Guys, here we go with the final form, Frieza. Now, I did pick this guy up at Walgreens, but you can find him in a few other places. And strangely enough, there is a special edition at GameStop that is, of course, from one of the games. So there's like the evil clone version, but other than that, it's exactly the same. It comes with the same Shenron Build-A-Figure part. So they got that. You got Frieza here in his weird white form. It's strange that back then they were shading things. So we looked at Vegeta before, and he totally had shading on his pants and whatnot. And then this Frieza totally has shading amongst his entire body. Kind of crazy. Final form Frieza, there in a nice chrome thing. You see my light? Yay! And you got Dragon Ball Super on that side. Super nice look at Mr. Frieza right there. And you come to the back, and all the figures in this wave, Goku, Vegeta, and Frieza. All the Build-A-Figure stuff, that's all exactly the same. Bandai, Toei, Funimation, Shenron. 0 to 3-year-olds will be sad. So let's go ahead and get the Emperor out here and see how cool he is. Even though he's probably very similar to his later self. We'll see what's up. Okay, here we go. Not gonna lie, I dig this Frieza. In some ways, he's a little bit better than the newer Golden Frieza, but in a lot of ways, he's almost exactly the same. His tail is probably exactly the same, though his torso is definitely smaller. He's less swole. It means the arms are also different. Different sculpt over here on the arms and stuff like that. The head is probably the same, but with a slightly molded, different smirk. I like it. I like this classic looking final form Frieza that we all grew to fear when we watched Dragon Ball Z. And I like the shading. It's weird, but I like it. If he was all one color, he would definitely look strange. I will say, if that's not an actual... Okay, so the ball joint itself just has some detents to it. Okay. I'm trying to figure out exactly what it was going on there. But the purple paint, purple kind of metallic-y paint looks okay. Some splotchiness over here where the hard lines didn't quite get as good. Little divots there. Look at the shading down here by the bottom of the feet. That's crazy. Once again, I go back to the fact that these are much older and they have better details and stuff like that. And even got painted toenails on Frieza. And it's really funny to see that his hands and everything are so different in this mode than to his golden mode, which we'll look at here in a second. Also, that toe is like really warped, but it kind of helps in the standing in a strange position. So trying to get him to stand one foot in front of the other wasn't the easiest thing, but that toe actually kind of helped. But yeah, the fingernail paint's funny. He does have all his other gimmicks. So he has the single pointed finger of death, which you can just swap out. Like so. And now he's going to end your world in a single blast. Anyways, he does come with 2 fist hands, which came on the figure, and I swapped everything out for the thumbnail. Looks pretty good. Like I said before, you've got swivel down here in the tail. Got kind of a universal feeling, and the end rotates. So that's probably exactly the same as the next version. Head, ball joint, neck doesn't really move, though I really wish it should. You got kind of a ball joint mounted inside that shoulder, along with the cutout, but the fact that the arm is cut out at the same color, wow, that's really strange. But he can disco pose, apparently. Didn't expect that, honestly. You've got bicep rotation, also shaded bicep and elbow area, though the elbow itself not so much. Double jointed elbow gets him like so, and he's like, oh. Even though, there we go. Now he's like, that's a cool pose. Look at that. So yeah, I really like some of these newer additions on older figures. What the heck? No bicep rotation, but that's okay. Or I'm sorry, bicep, but no forearm rotation. And you get the Bandai wrist, like you do. Double ball jointed torso, possibly, maybe single jointed. Feels like single jointed, only down there. And you can see so much skinnier. Massive drop down hips, which give you massive gappiness. It's the only thing I really don't like about the Frieza design. That is something that for sure carries over to his golden form. Got some thighs there for shading. Double jointed knees. Gets you to about there. Every like gap, every panel change is shaded nicely. Once again, the purple here is a bit fuzzy. Didn't quite get it. And the ankles are just these big things like so. They actually do work. And once again, compared to his newer self, this one, it can stand better, even in a disco pose. Like so. Let's bring out Golden Frieza. There we go. So they're mildly the same details, because he doesn't change that much, but until I had them together, actually seeing the differences, like the fact that his gauntlets, both between his legs and arms, totally change. His feet and hands are now open and purple, like almost implying that he was wearing clothes before, but given the fact that he's a mutant race in the first place, possibly even a mutant clone race, really changes things up. A major difference between this one and this one, here you got these giant eyebrow molded in sections that actually really make for a difference here. This head is a lot smoother. I kind of wish we got a very beefed up, like 100% power Frieza. That would be awesome. Just big old muscular, blown up Frieza. So I'll probably put this one in his original stance, but I dig this. And I do have the first form Frieza. We'll be looking at that very shortly. I'm kind of blowing through these pretty quickly, so we'll do that comparison next time. And just for the heck of it, bring out Ultra Instinct Goku, since this is kind of how they finished the battle. Well, I guess realistically Goku was in normal mode, not Ultra Instinct, but you get what I mean. And then Vegeta. Whoop, hello. Super Saiyan. Super Saiyajin Vegeta. You see how much taller he is than Frieza. By the way, this is a very good instance of how not to frame things. But yeah, I dig it. It's funny that I'm finding these older figures to be so much better. It's funny. And Shenron part looks pretty good. You got the back legs on here of the lizard boy, and very interesting pegs. I'm guessing that each section has a very, very specific peg to go into the next, so that you don't really get them confused. But we'll do the Build-A-Figure after I get all the figures, unlike the previous waves where almost everything is on the shelf. This one I'm going to have to work for. But guys, that's going to be it for this Frieza Final Form review. But I will make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you like this video. Hit that subscribe button down there if you are new to the channel, growing every single day. And of course, if you want to help support the channel a little bit more than just watching everything, go ahead and check out the Shoki shirts right here and the Patreon as well if you want to see things early. Like odds are they're going to see this early. But I will catch you guys on the next review. And remember, as always, to keep on nerding.